Look at that, man. Looks like a radio station. Hey, what's it? The request lines are now open. KGFJ Soul Radio.
Do it now, man.
Request lines are now.
It's open. Go ahead. Say it.
And then I'm gonna take off your dress. And then I'm gonna take off your bra. And then I'm gonna take off your shoes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, headquarters. Come in, headquarters. This is Officer Clyde.
Use the code name.
Headquarters, come in, please. This is code name Hardhead.
Hard hat. Give me that. Hello, radio dispatch. This is code named Hard Hat. Code named Hard Hat. Do you read me? Over.
Was that lard ass?
Hard Hat. Code named Hard Hat. Do you read, radio dispatch?
Hey, got something for you, lard ass.
Hard Hat.
Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back. We are back, folks. Recordbar Radio. This is Jules Quimby. The show is called Filmuzik. You know, I just realized I'm the first show that kicks off the whole week. The first show. I lead the pack. Thank you, affirmative action. All right, folks, this week, I got some good stuff lined up for you. I'm going to play some music from the movie Buck Rogers. That's right, the Buck Rogers movie that ended up being the TV series with Gil Gerard and the voluptuous Aaron Gray. Music was done by Stu Phillips, who did a lot of soundtrack stuff from television. So not only that, I got some stuff from Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke, some Herbie Hancock from the movie Death Wish, and a horror movie called The Visitor by an Italian composer named Franco Michelici. I'll tell you the thing about Italian composers, man. They do some really sexy, soulful, sultry soundtrack music. Those guys really know how to do it. But they took their cue from American composers. All right, folks, so thanks for joining us. Let's get it started. From the movie Blue Velvet, that was the theme from Blue Velvet. That is David Lynch. David Lynch is just an unbelievable director. I mean, he did some crazy stuff. You know, Eraserhead, just bizarre, just bizarrely beautiful, if you want to put it. Before that was the Mystic Moods Orchestra, and the name of the song, Midnight Snack. And if you see the album cover, you will understand why. A lot of the Mystic Moods albums are very sexy, and there was like a top square cut out. It was like die cut of a picture of a couple, and then if you pull out the inner sleeve, just ass and titties everywhere. It's unbelievable, folks, but some very funky stuff. Now, we got Aaron on board here. He's working the magic. Now, the next song I'm going to play, I was supposed to play it last week when I had a little Morricone tribute. This is Adam Ant. Yes, you heard right. This is an instrumental from his Friend or Foe album, and if you ask me, it's very Morricone inspired. So this is called Man Called Marco, and I'm assuming that's the name of the guitarist. So this is from 1982, and just Adam Ant was just on fire, 82, 83. Good stuff. Friend or Foe is the name of the album. This is called Man Named Marco.
Do you want to hustle? Do you want to salsa? Come to Rimba, Simba, Rabarin, Senor Kala, Messi, Rimba, to Rumba, Randa, Lumera, Rimba, Cardo, Zible, Runte, Caselama, Run with your Lord, dos, and call Salsa Me. Or if you want to find a disco deal and disco to you, call Disco Hotline 681-1181 at the Rimba, Cardi, Zibra, Monument, Gato, Simba, Rimba, Locas, Ronda, Cochueva, Health Spa.
Was an excerpt from the movie Death Wish, the very first Death Wish from 1974. Herbie Hancock scored the whole thing. Great soundtrack. Herbie Hancock did a lot of scores. He's just amazing. He actually liked one of my Instagram posts, and I know it was the real Herbie Hancock. Had to have been. Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. Now, I played some dialogue from the Up in Smoke soundtrack. It's a really cool soundtrack because there are excerpts, dialogue from the movie. And I did not know that until I played it last year. But there is a Cheech and Chong album, not a soundtrack, but a standalone comedy album called Let's Make a New Dope Deal. It was their last Warner Brothers album and probably the most brutal, just politically incorrect album. It's just hilarious. But there is one radio-friendly song that I am going to play. And it's actually a parody of the song Float On from the Floaters. and they're switching out the zodiac signs and all that, but they're using fast food, and they called themselves the Bloaters. So this is Bloat On by the Fabulous Bloaters. And by the way, let me just say this. We, the good people here at Recordbar Radio, we are abiding by all current CDC guidelines. We're wearing our masks when we're not on mic. I would prefer to wear gloves too. We're spraying down everything. We're wiping down. We're disinfecting. After each show, we all jump in a tub of Lysol, and all our naughty bits are covered. So we have to do that right. So we're all disinfecting and making sure we're doing things correctly. So back to the music. This is Cheech and Chong, Bloat On.
Hey, how you doing?
Gets on everything and everybody. A burger with nice, soft, warm brown buns, covered with mustard, relish, and ketchup dripping on down. Lots of onions and mayonnaise. What's that you say, honey? Hold a pickle, hold a lettuce. Say, baby, hold your mouth. I want it my way. And if you want it my way, all you got to do is take my hand, come with me, baby, to Burger Land. Let me show you how good it can be, eating burgers with me. Well, give me another burger, baby. See, I'm sick, I gotta eat. I got Dunlap disease. That's why I eat so much, my belly Dunlap over my belly. Oh,
yeah. Ice cream, and my name is Sugar. And I love all the flavors of the world. I like chocolate and vanilla and mocha. But ooh, my favorite is licorice. But I also like pistachio and strawberry and raspberry and boysenberry and berry. Ooh, baby, if y'all want to share some sugar with sugar, just reach out. Ooh, take my hand. Come with me, baby, to Sugarland. Let me show you how good it can be, eating sweet things with me. Oh no, baby, don't show me that. I can't eat that. 'Cause I'm on a seafood diet. That's everything I see, I eat. So take it on, bring it back on over here, baby. Maybe I'll just have a few licks.
Chow mein. And my name is Larry. And I like a chow mein that I have everything all over, everything. A real house special, phu chao siu, xiao gai, chong cho yo biang, ham yo biang, dum salam, hai cao, young cow, fresh vegetable, and carrots. Also, I like a sweet sour number 2 combo with 2 7-Up. And baby, if you like that, hey, baby, you come on down. Yeah, you come on down. Let me take you to Chinatown. Oh, let me show you how good it can be. Oh, eating Chinese food with Larry.
hamburger.
Ice cream.
Chow mein.
That was from The Visitor, man. 1979. That is a weird horror movie, and you need to see it at least once, especially if you like small children saying the F word. It's just beautiful. Now, the last song you heard, Blow It On, maybe that last part, maybe that wasn't very radio friendly, considering where we are now. So I apologize in advance. But yeah, Cheech and Chong, folks. Now, last week was a lot of fun. But last week was met with some controversy, and I said something, and it was met with a little bit of pushback. And I'd just like to take the opportunity to apologize to the deviled egg community. I had no idea that that dish was so beloved. So yeah, I'm going to be sitting down with the Deviled Egg Council of America to help make me a better broadcaster and a better American. See that pause? That was for dramatic sake. See that little pause? That's what you do in broadcasting. Hey, let's do some horror movie stuff. Now, I like horror movies. I'm a big fan of the Friday the 13th movies up to the fourth one. The music was scored by Harry Manfredini, but for the third one, which was in 3D, he thought he would step it up. And he contacted a couple of guys that called themselves Hot Ice. One of those guys was Michael Zager from the Michael Zager band who did that song, Let's All Chant My Body, Your Body. So they kind of funked it up a bit, and they came up with a new theme for Friday the 13th, Part 3. And word on the street is this record was kind of a hit in some of the gay bars around the early 80s, which, again, proves that I was born 10 years too late, because that would have been just great. So, going to play this Friday the 13th theme from 1982. And after that, I'm going to follow it up with yet another Tubular Bells cover. This is from Book of Love. I like to call them Depeche Mode Light. But this is Tubular Bells, of course. It's the theme they used in The Exorcist from 1973, Mike Oldfield. Countless covers. This one in particular is pretty awesome, and that's from 1988. So we're going to get it started with some Friday the 13th on Recordbar Radio. right, so that last song I mixed in, that was from The Greasy Strangler, one of the greatest soundtracks. I seem to bring that soundtrack in every week. The Greasy Strangler. And it's a movie you need to see once. that was from Dark Shadows, the original TV series. But it actually, the music is not from Dark Shadows. This is actually a cover, but it's taken from, the movie. And it's called Barabbas. It's called the first Theremin era. You know what a Theremin is? I think that's how they pronounce it, Theremin. It's a device where you control with your hands. Is it Theremin or Theremin? Theremin. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron's corrected me right here on the air, just embarrassing the shit out of me. Yeah, you know what it is. It's one of the woo. They use it in a lot of 50s and 60s, and really hip groups like Portishead, they utilized it. But that's what it is. Well, let's get away from all this death and dying and stabbing and slashing and vomiting and carrying on. Let's get back to the music. This next song, the next song I'm going to play is, it's not from Jackie Brown, but it was used in Jackie Brown. As in a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies, he kind of picks and chooses pre-recorded songs for his movies, and he does it pretty well, when he's not writing in N-bombs in the script. But this is Street Life by Randy Crawford, and this is used in Jackie Brown in one of the mall scenes. And this song was originally recorded by the Crusaders in 1979, along with Randy Crawford. But this is an updated version, which was actually in the movie Sharky's Machine with Burt Reynolds, a very forgetful, just awful movie. But it's a really cool soundtrack. So I'm going to play that now. Street Life.
Because there's no place I can go. Street life, it's the only life I know. Street life, and there's 1,000 parts to play. Street life, until you play your life away. You let those people see just who you wanna be, and every night you shine just like a superstar. That's how the life is played, a 10-cent masquerade. You dress, you walk, you talk, you're who you think you are. Street life, you can run away from time. Street life, for a nickel or a dime. Street life, but you better not get old. Street life, or you're gonna feel the cold. There's always love for sale, a grown-up fairy tale. Prince Charming always smiles behind a silver spoon. And if you keep it young, your song is always sung. Your love will pay your way beneath the silver moon. Street life, street life.
ever wonderful Miss Randy Crawford. She's just great. If you listen to Smooth Jazz Radio, you know who Randy Crawford is. And it looks like I'm probably the only one in the planet who listens to Smooth Jazz Radio. Just something to think about. Folks, I think we're out of time. I had a great time today. We learned a lot. We loved and we lived and we laughed. Now, I got 5 minutes left, folks, and I got something to say. I'm having a blast. That is all. Last song I'm going to play here is from the movie Kiss of the Spider-Woman. This is Wally Badarou. I believe he's loosely connected with Level 42, or at least their earliest stuff. And he has a song called Chief Inspector, which is played on Smooth Jazz Radio. It is a funky one. This one is called Spider-Woman from the movie Kiss of the Spider-Woman. That's the last song, and that is it for me. Coming up is Gila Man. Is it Gila Man coming up next? Okay, Gila Man. Aaron's correcting me again. That's all right. That's what he does. Gila Man's coming up next. And I'm going to hurry up and clean up and disinfect and get out of here so he can get in here and do his thing. This is Recordbar Radio. Thanks for joining me, folks. Keep listening.